What's good, Commanders fans? So we got some positive injury updates today. Jayden Daniels was cleared, and he will be a full participant in practice, or he is practicing right now. Actually, the practice just ended, and he is doing a press conference. They actually got some quotes on social media, and he's live on YouTube, his press conference right now. But he said to play back in Southern California as a pro would mean everything. So he is going to be playing in LA against the Chargers. This will be his first time going back to LA, I think. Playing against an LA team on the road. His mom posted something on Twitter as well, on Twitter, basically saying that he's back. So he is going to play on Sunday. This will be his first game back in 2 games. And a couple beat reporters put up some videos of him, doing the cha-cha, like the little cha-cha drill and then throwing the football. And his footwork looked good, man. It looked good. He looks spry. He looks quick, as always. I mean, it's not too much to take from that video, but just looking at that video and quickly analyzing it, I thought he looked pretty good and looked pretty fluid out there. So he is wearing a brace. He said he's not the biggest fan of it, but if that's what I have to wear, I'll do anything, but we'll have to see on Sunday. So it looks like he's answering questions a little bit better, with a little bit more enthusiasm today than what he did last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever he was very short on his answers. And then somebody asked him, will he play on whether, Zach Selby tweeted out Daniels on whether he'll play. He says, I guess we'll have to see on Sunday. But other guys, so Sam Cosmi, they opened up his 21-day window, which is good news coming back from the PUP list or injured reserve. So he has 21 days to be activated and come back on the roster. So, I think that's by the Cowboys game. So we'll see what happens there. But the offensive line has been fine. They've done a good job without him, and I think they'll be even better with him, of course. So you'll have Wiley will be back on the bench. Wiley as a backup is really good, too. Wiley did a good job at right guard, replacing Nick Allegretti. Wiley should have been starting at right guard while Cosmi was out anyway. And then Connolly was at right tackle. He struggled, but he's been better the last 2 games against the Raiders and against the Falcons. And then Biotic is a dog. We already know that. Brandon Coleman got benched. Chris Paul's at left guard. He's done a good job the last 2 games. And then Laramie Tunsil is a perennial Pro Bowler, so we already know he's going to do a good job out there. In the run game, we're number 2 in rush yards, and it's not just the quarterback. We've had big runs from C-Rod, McNichols, Bill. Like, everybody has had a really nice run. Bill had a nice run against the Giants. McNichols had a nice run against the Raiders. And then C-Rod had a nice run against the Falcons. So everybody's contributed some way, somehow in this committee. And the offensive line has done a good job of doing that. Ben Sennett has stepped up. John Bates is on the way up. That's the update. So Dan Quinn on the other injured players other than Jayden, he says, including Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown, and John Bates, all are trending up. We're making good progress with those guys. So Percy Butler might be in that conversation as well. You can't really hang your hat on Noah Brown at all. But John Bates did say on the radio that he will be participating in practice. In other news, so Linnell Willingham, he tweeted out that Deebo Samuel was not at practice today. So we don't know that was for personal reasons. I did not see Deebo Samuel get injured. I didn't see him leave the game against the Falcons. He had the tough 4th and 3 catch. But Linnell tweeted out, this is what Linnell tweeted out. He said Deebo Samuel not at practice. That's basically, he said that's why they signed Robbie Chosen. I don't think that's the reason why they signed Robbie Chosen. Now, we have to really wait for the official injury report to come out to make any assumptions like that. So I wouldn't say something. He said, no Deebo Samuel out of practice today. We will get an injury report at 4 p.m. Would explain Robbie Chosen signing. I don't think that really necessarily explains it. They just need to add talent. Chris Moore, I'm not going to rag on Chris Moore too much, but it is what it is. He's Chris Moore. Luke McCaffrey's trying. He's had 2 good games back-to-back, 2 solid games. Jalen Lane is a rookie. So you can only expect so much from him right now at this point, and they just wanted to bring in some experience. I would have brought in somebody else other than Robbie Chosen, to be honest. I like Robbie Chosen, I do. But I do think maybe even Odell would have been another better option. Deontay Johnson, he just has a trouble pass. Robbie Chosen has a trouble pass through a lot of troubles for sure. And I talked about how many times he was arrested within a span of 3 or 4 years for speeding and all kinds of stuff, and altercations with authorities. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that really correlates. I think Deebo Samuel's fine, but once again, we'll see what the injury report. And then remember, today is a veteran rest day for a lot of guys. Zach Ertz, Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, all those guys rest on Wednesdays all the time. They will be practicing in California on Friday as well, so keep that in mind. It's something that they did last year in Arizona for the Cardinals game. They went early. So they will be getting acclimated with, I guess, I don't know if it's hotter. It probably is warmer over there in LA, and just the time change and everything like that. So it is smart to do that just to get their sleep schedule, I guess, for that day and that night, and just get ready for the time for sure. And just being in Cali. So, but all right, let's get a quick word from Sleeper, and then we'll talk about some other injuries, and then take a quick look at the Chargers. So let's get a quick word from today's sponsor, Sleeper.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code Oliver. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
All right, shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper. There's not many props up or any props up yet for the game on Sunday with us against the Chargers, but I will be taking a look at Ladd McConkey receiving yards more, Quentin Johnston receiving yards more, Keenan Allen receiving or receptions more. I don't want to go against my team or us, but when you're wagering money, you got to be smart with it, and you have to take advantage of the opportunities. Just like last year for rushing yards, our run defense was so bad to the point where any running back we went up against last year, take the rushing yards. Whether it was Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, it is what it is. You just got to, if you want to make money on Sleeper, that's just some of the stuff that you have to do and take advantage of. So make sure you guys take advantage of the promo code on Sleeper. Like I said, Deebo Samuel, I just don't think that correlates at all with Robbie Chosen. I think they just wanted to get some more speed in there with losing De'Ami Brown, losing Olamide Zaccheaus. They just wanted to bring some veteran speed in there, and that's a guy that was with the Niners before, so there is some familiarity there with Adam Peters just a little bit. Antonio Hamilton Sr. was elevated from the practice squad to the roster. He was signed to the roster. Javonte John Baptiste was placed on injured reserve as well. I'm trying to see. Sam Cosmi was out there practicing. That is good, man. That's really good news. I don't think he's going to play this week, but I do think there's a good chance that that he'll be back maybe for the Bears game on Monday Night Football after this game. I think there's a possibility that happens. And remember, he got injured in late January when we beat the Lions, like January 19th. And he's recovering from an ACL already, which is pretty crazy. I mean, he is an offensive lineman, so it's not like a running back or a receiver where he has to stop and cut and different things like that. So it does make it a little bit quicker, I would think. So, but that is really good news for Sam Cosmi coming back. And John Bates, I think he's going to be back this week too, so we'll see. All right, so let's look at, Dan Quinn, he says, I don't feel like teams are targeting Marshawn Lattimore. He says Lattimore is playing better than perception, but the big mistakes get the headlines. So that's what he said. And then Jayden Daniels will be wearing a knee brace. So, all right, so quick look at the Chargers. They've been giving up a lot of pressures, guys, and this is why I think this could be, I'm not going to say a get-right game for the defense, but I do think this is just an opportunity for the D-line to kind of bounce back, man. They didn't get a lot of pressure on Michael Penix. And I really feel like they can get some pressure on Justin Herbert, man. And even Jim Harbaugh said it. He said Justin Herbert has taken too many hits. The Giants D-line dominated when Joe Alt got injured. Rashawn Slater's out for the season. Bradley Bozeman has a back injury. Mekhi Becton missed the game last game. So 3 out of the 5 starters are probably not going to play against us on Sunday. And then the guys who are playing are not good at all. They've been very awful. They have struggled. Let me look at some of the tell you guys some of the PFF numbers for the guys that were blocking. Right tackle, Austin DeCoulis had a 22.4 pass blocking grade against the Giants. Bradley Bozeman, 24.6, which is awful. Jamari Saylor, right guard, 29.3. Left guard, Zion Johnson, 48.7. Trey Pipkins, 59.6. So their offensive line was really bad against the Giants D-line. I get it. The Giants D-line has more talent, but they really just have struggled protecting Justin Herbert. And against the Broncos, too, they struggled to protect Justin Herbert as well. Now, Justin Herbert, he's been pressured on 54.1% of his 85 dropbacks this season, which is a very high rate. 47.7% of his dropbacks he was pressured in week 4. Justin Herbert has faced a 50% pressure rate despite posting a lightning quick 2.56 second time to throw. That's per Mina Kimes against the Giants. Herbert has completed 10 of 23 attempts under pressure for 143 yards, a game-tying touchdown, and an interception while taking 5 sacks against the Broncos as well. So he's had a tough time against pressure, man. He's on pace to be hit 140 times this year, which is a lot. And he's on pace to be pressured on 295 dropbacks this season as well, which is a lot. He also has been pressured on 46 dropbacks over the past 2 weeks, which is the most in the NFL per True Media Sports, man. So he has been pressured a lot, man. He's been pressured a lot. He's been hit a lot too. So Javon Kinlaw, Dorrance, Deron Payne, Preston Smith, Jalen Holmes, Von Miller. You know, you're going up against backups, guys. You're going up against substitute teachers. You have to take advantage of this opportunity and get pressure on Justin Herbert. They just have to. They have to dial up some pressure, some stunts, twists, whatever they can do to get to the quarterback, man. This is the time to do it against the backups to the backups to the backups on the Chargers. So, and then Trey Pipkin, he's allowed 12 pressures in the past 2 games, which is a good amount. Their O-line is they just struggle, man. They have struggled. They really have struggled. So this is like I said, not a get-right game, but an opportunity to bounce back against a really depleted offensive line for sure. Herbert has been pressured on 40.6% of his dropbacks this season, according to True Media as well. He's never been pressured on more than 36.7% of his dropbacks in a season. So this is the time to do it. So, all right, guys, great news with Jayden Daniels playing. He's going to be playing back in LA, a homecoming game. People are joking that Juju Watkins might be there in the stands and stuff like that, but we'll see. So that should be a good homecoming game for him. Sam Cosmi, 21-day window has been opened. Terry McLaurin not at practice today too, so that is not good. And it looks like if he's not at practice today, like I said, if he's a DNP, then I don't think he's going to play because he's probably going to be a DNP on Thursday or at best limited, and I don't think he's going to play. So, but I do want to see what happens with Noah Brown. Let me see if Noah Brown. I think Noah Brown was on the side field per some of the updates that I did get. I think Noah Brown was on the side field, and Noah Brown did not practice today. So yeah, he was a DNP. He was a DNP. You can't really count on. You cannot count on Noah Brown. But however, John Bates was on the field per Zach Selby, and Robbie Chosen was out there today too. He's wearing number 12. That was Michael Gallup's number when Michael Gallup was here. So, all right, you guys. You guys let me know what you guys think. As always, Health Commanders. Peace.